tonight, we're in Newton, Iowa at the 7/8 Mile Iowa Speedway. The ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards is ready to go with race number 12 of 2015. And so far this season, the Stock Car Sanctioning Body has produced some equally amazing numbers.
It's said a lot at racing. Anything can happen. When it comes to the ARCA Racing Series, that line is anything but cliche. Since the green flag flew in Daytona, the only thing you could expect is the unexpected.
And we've got a car hard into the wall. Big crash. Heavy damage on the right side.
First, history was repeated.
Grant Enfinger leads the field back to the stripe, and he will win.
Then, history was made. Since, history was written.
Trevor Bayne will win in his first start in the ARCA Racing Series.
Tonight, the ARCA Racing Series returns to Newton, Iowa. A short track that drives like a super speedway. And success here is not a guarantee. No driver has ever visited Victory Lane twice at Iowa Speedway. After 150 laps, history will be ripe for the taking. ARCA has crowned 7 consecutive different champions since 2008. We already know that number will increase at the end of the year, but the question is, what kind of history will we see tonight at Iowa? Hi, everybody. I'm Ray Dunlap alongside Phil Parsons. You know, Grant Enfinger wins 3 in a row. Ken Schrader becomes the oldest winner. But then, Phil, we've had 7 consecutive first-time winners. Have you ever seen anything like that?
I really haven't, Ray. But, you know, the ARCA Racing Series has long been known as a great developmental series for NASCAR. And this year is certainly no exception. They have a lot of young drivers that gives them an opportunity to get in the fast car on big racetracks. And we've got a few drivers here that may be able to extend that record to 8. We've got right here, how about Matt Tifft? He starts in the 6th spot for Kenny Schrader. That car's already won twice this year. Matt has 2 runner-up finishes in his career. We also, how about Austin Cindric? He's the son of Tim Cindric, president of Penske Racing. He's making his first ever ARCA start, starting up in the top 5 in a car that's won 3 times this year. And how about Matt Krzyzewski? He's made 5 starts already in 2015, never finished outside the top 10, and he starts from the front row. Some really good numbers for those young drivers hoping to continue the streak, but there's some people trying to put an end to it, and I got to look at our points leader, Grant Enfinger, because his numbers have been amazing at Iowa. Yeah, they certainly have. His last 4 times here, all top 4 finishes, including that win in 2013. Well, the Iowa Speedway is certainly a great racetrack, but when we talk about the ARCA Racing Series, there are so many different tracks. How about this particular track at Iowa and how they got it done a year ago? We talked about Grant Enfinger winning that race, but he had to learn something from his 16-year-old Kyle Weatherman. He jumped to the top of the racetrack. He drove all the way to the front of the field, got by Grant Enfinger. He got a little bit too high late, and then he lost the lead back to Grant Enfinger. Grant went on to win. So the high side and the low side both could work, but when we talk about this division, they go to Daytona, they go to the mile dirts, they run on big tracks, small tracks, but my favorite has to be Winchester. How about that race a week ago? It was a dandy. It certainly was here. This is a late restart. You see Austin Wayne himself on the inside of Brandon Jones. Brandon's in that yellow car. He takes the lead to go on to his first victory, makes it 7 in a row, first-timers. That's an amazing statistic, and Austin Wayne has got himself back in the points championship, and we want to take a look at where the points are right now as we come into race number 12 of 2015. Enfinger with those 3 big wins, certainly the point leader. Josh Williams hanging in there. Tom Hessert back in 3rd. How many guys are still in the hunt? I think right now we've got 4 guys for sure still in the hunt. David Levine right now a little bit outside, but 4 guys for sure. Okay, so Grant Enfinger with the point lead, and we're going to introduce the starting lineup for you for tonight's ARCA 150 coming from Iowa Speedway right after these messages.
Today, the series heads deeper into the Midwest for another short track battle. From Iowa Speedway, green flag in the air, we're underway. Tom Hessert wins his first race in the ARCA Racing Series.
Nothing much better than the first win.
Ty looking for a championship in the ARCA Racing Series. He wins his 7th career race. Now Ty Dillon adds another win to his resume. Alex Bowman works his way through 3 and 4, comes out of turn number 4. Checkered flag flies. Bowman wins his 5th career race in the ARCA Racing Series. There's the opportunity that Grant Enfinger needed. He's able to go by. Enfinger will win at Iowa.
Well, all these fans can ask for is a little bit of parity, and we've certainly had that here at the Iowa Speedway. 8 races, 8 different winners. Will that streak continue tonight? We'll find out. It has been a blistering hot day today in the Midwest. We were up over 96 degrees, but the temperature's starting to drop back down. We expect it to be around 80 degrees at the end of the race tonight. High humidity, and these teams have really worked through some punishing heat throughout the course of the afternoon. But one team was exceptionally good. We had the Menards Pole Award presented by Ansel earlier today, and that award went to the 22.
Yeah, Kyle Weatherman was very fast. He was top 5 in practice. When it came time to put it together for qualifying, he was quick.
Rob Klepper and Jim Trado will be covering the action down in the pits tonight. Let's get it all started off, find out what's on Jim Trado's mind.
The last time the ARCA Racing Series was here at Iowa Speedway, this young man at age 15 showed him a different way to get around and nearly won the race. Kyle Weatherman, you've had a great run then. You also start from the front row tonight. Tell us about your thoughts about bagging the win here at Iowa.
Heck yeah, that's that's the plan. Obviously, we kind of found the high groove last year. Hopefully we can do that again. So I'm really excited to get this Cunningham race car up front and keep it up front all day. And I got to thank Briggs Cunningham, Kerry Shear. Without those guys and their support, I wouldn't be here. So I got to thank them guys, and hopefully we can have a good weekend here. So we'll start off good here.
Worst finish of 6th this season. This young man's going after win number 2 in 2015. Now let's check in with Rob Klepper.
Thank you so much, Jim Trado, your 2014 reigning ARCA Racing Series champion. Mason Mitchell, home racetrack. You grew up down the street in West Des Moines. How special is it to race here at Iowa Speedway?
This is my Daytona 500, my biggest event of the year. Obviously, growing up from West Des Moines, being only 35 minutes down the road is huge. I have a lot of friends, family here tonight. They're going to be cheering me on and supporting me my whole career in life. And a win here tonight would just be tremendous, probably bigger than the championship.
Speaking of wins, you guys won at Winchester Speedway. As an owner, Austin Wayne self drove it to victory at the half-mile high banks. Talk about that, winning as an owner.
Yeah, that was huge. It was not only good for the organization, but Austin himself, sponsors, his family. Just put every morale back in the guys, and hopefully we can have a 1-2 finish here tonight.
Guys, he'll start inside row number 4 in the 7th spot, looking for his first win in his 4th start here in 2015.
Well, thank you, Rob. We've had 11 races this year, and already 8 different drivers winning the Scott Rookie of the Race. And tonight, we're going to keep our eye on Austin Cindric, making his first ever start here in the ARCA Racing Series.
Yeah, very talented young man, and really a broad spectrum of motorsports at 16 years old. How about the Global Rallycross? He's won a couple times in the lights division there. They get on asphalt, jumps, dirt, all sorts of stuff.
Fun.
Absolutely. There he is right there. In Victory Lane, there he is taking his 2nd win in Daytona Beach.
Good-looking race car there, and always fun to be on the podium, especially when you're in position number 1.
He also does some Continental Tire Sports Challenge. He won last week at Motorsport, becoming the youngest winner ever in the history of that series.
And guess what, Phil? We'll have that race on Sunday at noon Eastern on FS1 if you want to tune in and check out the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. That's from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park.
Wait till you see the Street Tuner Division finish for that one.
Absolutely. When we talk about the history of this series, there have been some great Rookie of the Years, and I know this one near and dear to your heart. Your brother Benny did it back in '65.
Yeah, growing up in Michigan, the biggest thing for us was the ARCA Racing Series. In 1965, Benny and his next-door neighbor Tom Thornton put a car together and won the Rookie of the Year. Then Ford backed him a little bit in '68 and '69 with a couple of championships. Then he moved down to NASCAR, won the title, as well as the Daytona 500. He was a '65 Rookie of the Year. That's a 1968 Ford Torino. That's the car that took him to his first championship in '68 and 11 wins.
And so many times we've seen those Rookie of the Year drivers be able to springboard up through the ladder, and Benny was certainly one of those drivers.
Yeah, there he is in Victory Lane in 1969 at the Daytona ARCA race, the biggest win of his career to date.
John Markham standing beside Benny, but there's a young man there with his shirt tail out. I'm wondering who that is.
I'm not sure who that is, but it actually might be me, right? In about 1968.
Phil Parsons at the racetrack with his brother Benny. Well, we've got the drivers in their race cars, and it's time to go for track command.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome the Grand Marshal for today's ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. This is My Speedway 150, Iowa Speedway Fans with Benefits winner, Mark Prines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Drivers are flipping the switches, getting ready to go. We're about to go with the My Speedway 150 here at the Iowa Speedway. We'll set the starting lineup for your ARCA tonight, coming up after this. An absolutely beautiful evening here at the Iowa Speedway as we're ready to go racing for the Automobile Racing Club of America. The sun is beginning to set. Temperature starting to drop here after a very, very hot day. Phil, take a look at this racetrack.
Great racetrack, Ray. This racetrack was built for passing, for 2-3 wide racing. You see, 7/8 of a mile. The turns are progressively banked from 12 at the bottom up to 14, and we'll see them use this whole racetrack here.
That makes it fun to watch for sure here at the Iowa Speedway. Here's your race analysis. 150 laps. That's only 132 miles, but my question is, what about pit stops?
Yeah, these guys can go probably 95 to 105 laps on fuel. We estimate pit stops, too. Some guys may try to make it on one. It's going to be interesting.
We told you that Kyle Weatherman was on the Menards pole tonight. Right beside him will be Matt Krzyzewski. Krzyzewski having a great season. He's from Mansfield, Pennsylvania.
How about row number 2 here, Brandon Jones? He's actually going to have to go back to the back of the pack for the start because he spun out, had to change tires after qualifying. Starts alongside Austin Cindric.
We talked about Matt Tifft as one of your drivers to watch tonight. He'll be in row 3 along with Grant Enfinger. Enfinger, our current points leader, and a driver who won the first 3 races of the season.
Yeah, let's see if we can maybe chat with Grant Enfinger. Hey, Grant Enfinger, Phil Parsons up on the Fox Sports 1 booth. You got a copy?
Hey, that's pit road start. That's a lap clear, Phil.
Grant, you won this thing last time we were here a couple years ago by jumping to the high side there. You think that's going to be the way to go again tonight?
Man, I truly think there's going to be a lot of grooves out here if practice is any indication. So we're going to start off on the bottom, but we definitely have some options here.
Guy, you had a great start for the season with those 3 wins in a row. And remember, you won this thing a couple years ago. You need to get that 23 car back in victory lane.
Well, we may have lost our communication there with Grant as you look at where your favorite drivers are starting throughout the course of the field tonight. We want to get back down trackside and find out what our pit reporters are thinking. Let's start back again with Jim Trado.
Well, 11 or so days ago, he didn't know he's racing here. Matter of fact, the driver that starts 11th is young Todd Gilliland. At 15 years of age, became the youngest ever winner in the ARCA Racing Series back mid-May, just 2 days after his 15th birthday. This young man got the call on Monday night. Hey, we need you in the car. Yes, you're one of the 5 drivers we've used in this car this year, but your ride is at Iowa. He said it took me about 3 hours to convince my parents to let me do this because this is the biggest, fastest track that David Gilliland's son has ever been on. He's adapted well here as well. This shot of victory was a hard-fought one with Tom Hester at Toledo in the closing moments. He had a faster race car for that white 55. He got it done. Todd Gilliland went to victory lane, one of the very few on a short list of drivers to win in their ARCA Series debut. Tonight is start number 2 for that young man. He said, I'm getting acclimated to the speed. I've not been around a track this fast in my life. I want to get this thing done. I want to finish the race for this team. Let's check in with Rob.
Well, thank you, Jim. You know, if you look at the career stats for 18-year-old driver, the number 25, he has got 9 starts, 2 wins, and 7 top 5s. He was very fast earlier today in practice. He was very fast in qualifying, but that was lap number 1. Said the car was a little bit loose on the lap number 2. Little loose coming into turn number 3, and he looped it out in turn number 4. So that 25 car will have to go all the way to the tail. Of course, Brandon Jones, a very good race car driver, especially, guys, here at this racetrack. He's won in the K&N Series. He's finished top 10 in NASCAR Xfinity. And, of course, a few weeks ago, he ran 2nd here in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Going to be fun to watch him come from the tail here tonight.
Well, thank you, Rob. Always fun to watch these young drivers in this division. Brandon Jones, certainly an up-and-coming star, and Todd Gilliland winning on his 15th and 2-day birthday. I don't know how you say that exactly right, but he's the youngest winner in series history. Let's take a look at our onboards tonight that we'll be carrying for you. How about the Crosley onboard? That is Bo Lamastus from Louisville, Kentucky. Bo Lamastus will be driving car number 42.
We're also going to ride along with our point leader, Grant Enfinger, right there. He's in the Jegs.com onboard camera. Drives that Allegiant Travel Chevy and will start from the 5th spot.
You mentioned the 99 of Austin Cindric. This guy drives anything and everywhere, and tonight he'll be making his series debut driving the Ford EcoBoost race car number 99. He'll start 4th.
We're also going to ride along with Brandon Jones in that Menards Ansel Toyota. Remember, he qualified third, goes all the way back to the back of the pack. That's going to be really exciting for him coming up through there.
The ultimate question for me, Phil, for Brandon Jones, how much patience do you need? How quickly do you try to charge to the front?
I think he charges immediately to the front, tries to get there as quick as he can because he knows he can take those tires off and put 2 more sets on.
Okay, so Jones will go to the rear on our front row. Once again, it's Kyle Weatherman in the number 22 and Krzyzewski in the number 54. Those 2 drivers lining up with black cars behind them. Grant Enfinger ready to go alongside the number 99.
As you mentioned, we never had a repeat winner here, and Kyle Weatherman was the guy that showed Grant Enfinger that the top of the racetrack would work a couple years ago. He's going to start up there on the top.
And Tommy Hessert said, don't count me out either. He just had a baby with his wife Megan, and he said, we're going to win one for Tommy the 4th. Here we go. Green flag is out at Iowa.
How about Krzyzewski with a great start to take the lead early.
Goes to the high side right ahead of Kyle Weatherman, and he will take the lead in car number 54.
Weatherman fought back on the high side, got back by the 23 of Enfinger now to take over that second spot.
Grant Enfinger will go to 3rd position. Behind him, Austin Cindric, and right behind them in 5th position in that Federated race car, that's Matt Tifft.
There's a couple teammates, the 78 of Mason Mitchell on the inside, the 98 of Austin Wayne Self on the outside.
It was interesting listening to Mason talk in that pre-race interview just how big of a deal it is when you come to your home track. I know he's got a lot of fans here in the grandstands tonight.
Yeah, he's run here a couple times, both top 10 finishes. He's looking for more. How about Sarah Cornett-Ching? She was looking for more too. Look to the inside for a moment on Mason Mitchell.
Some really great numbers recently for Sarah Cornett-Ching. In 4 of the last 5 races, she's finished 9th or better. So a really good run for Tony Blanchard's number 2.
How about Austin Cindric? Got by the 23 of Grant Enfinger. Now they're 3 wide. Austin's way up the racetrack.
Look how wide this track is and all the options the drivers have.
Right along with that Jegs.com on board Grant Enfinger. How about Tom Hessert now on the outside? Those guys really struggled in practice. They said their car was super tight. They wholesale changed it. It was loose qualifying, so now they're somewhere in the middle.
There, Austin Cindric going by the 52 of Tiff, so we'll put Cindric into 3rd position, following Krzyzewski and Weatherman. They're out front. You see Hessert's car bottoming out a little bit as he goes into the corner in that Barbera's number 77.
Yeah, that should get a little bit better as the tires pump up a little bit, get a little more air pressure. Remember about the 3 guys we talked about with an opportunity to extend the streak of first-time winners? All 3 of those guys right now running in the top 4.
All right, in that group for sure. And Tommy Hessert said he expects this racetrack to change dramatically tonight after the temperature drops. We were talking about track temperatures today, Phil, of 135 degrees. That's hard to get a handle on.
Yeah, I talked to Matt Tifft, who right now runs in the 4th spot in that 52 car. He said he was here a couple years ago and ran this race, and the racetrack is nothing like it was 2 years ago.
Tommy Hessert went to Winchester Speedway, brought home a 6th place finish, was all nervous about Megan having the baby and whether he could get back there, and she waited till Sunday. He shouldn't have been worried at all.
She's a racing wife. She knows how to do that.
Taking a look there at the group that's running directly behind Hessert. There's Brandon Jones, and check out this time that Brandon Jones has made through the field all the way up into the top 10 already.
Yeah, you asked if he was going to be in a hurry. He's certainly in a hurry here. Inside of 10 laps, already up into the top 10 right now, running 9th.
No question about it, Phil. The experience that he's had in these other divisions and being able to be a winner at a racetrack has to give you extra confidence.
Yeah, without a doubt, he did a great job in the K&N Series here. Won that big combo race with the West last year. Finished 2nd, as Rob talked about, in the Truck Series race just a few weeks ago here.
Wouldn't you say that combination race for K&N East and West is one of the toughest events to win? You bring together an incredible group of young drivers.
Yeah, without a doubt here. And right now, I think he's got on his mind getting by that 78 of Mason Mitchell, our defending ARCA Racing Series champion.
Mitchell won the title a year ago based on mostly consistency. Picked up 1 win on a 1.5 miles. He's got Carl Chevrolet on the side of that 78 tonight. A local Chevrolet dealer that sponsors a lot of race cars here at the Iowa Speedway. Good to see them back.
You saw Mason Mitchell up on the high side. He really did most of his practicing up on the high side because he knew that that's where he's going to have to be to win this race. Brandon Jones unable to get by him on the inside.
We're going back up front right now. There's Matt Krzyzewski in the number 54. Let's get an update on him from Jim Trado.
Well, part of the secret of the speed of this young man out of Pennsylvania is who he has working with him on this race car. None other than Brian Keselowski and his dad, Bob. Long-time involvement in the ARCA Racing Series. They have bought this car and put it together after they ran Talladega with their Signal Super Speedway car. That's Brian on the left. Brian's been working non-stop on this short track car for this team, and it's paid off. A 5th at Pocono, a 5th at MIS, and a 6th place at Chicagoland. Coming to this racetrack, a short track with that same car, took a lot of work and finesse, but Brian's got a pretty thick notebook, and he knows a lot about how to get ARCA cars turning here. Matt Krzyzewski said nothing on the radio to this point. He's just driving this thing.
Yeah, Matt's going to run 3 more races this year, and that's going to be the intermediate speedways. Brian Keselowski built a brand new composite body car for next week at LOR.
And he's going to be the driver. Right now, his driver's out front. Matt Krzyzewski, the fastest so far at Iowa. Well, I hope you're ready for some lobster and steamers because we're headed back to New Hampshire. NASCAR will be there this Sunday, and we've got all the news and previews with NASCAR Race Day. Johnny Roberts, Kenny Wallace, and Larry McReynolds have you covered. Then NASCAR Victory Lane gets all the interviews and analysis of what happened on your race day. Coverage begins at 10 a.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1, and as always, it's streaming on Fox Sports Go. Matt Krzyzewski with a pretty decent lead right now. He's opened up 0.6 of a second on Kyle Weatherman.
Yeah, those guys have been matching lap times. This last lap, Kyle Weatherman just a little bit quicker. As you can see, the last 4 laps within 1/10 of a second of each other.
Keeping that distance pretty tight is Weatherman in that number 22. Kyle, one of those drivers who was able to get his first career win, did it at New Jersey Motorsports Park. A little bit of a surprise for some people. He was a good road racer. He did a great job. He's been very good on the short tracks, too.
That was his first start on a road course.
Yeah, amazing. So he's one of those drivers on our list of 7 in a row.
Here's a young man in a hurry right here. We talked about Brandon Jones moving up into the top 10 inside of 10 laps. So right now he's in the top 5 inside of 20 laps.
That's an amazing run for Brandon Jones. As we showed you at the top of the show, he did have a spin out in qualifying. They had to change tires, and because of that rule, he went to the rear, but doesn't appear to be holding him back much as he's now in the top 5.
Yeah, he's been running some great lap times, but that top 3 right now are really fast.
Austin Cindric in the number 99 running in 3rd. He's 3 seconds back. So Krzyzewski really putting down some fast laps. And right here is the number 23 of Grant Enfinger. He started 5th today, but he's dropped back a bit. For more on him, let's go to Rob Klepper.
Yeah, you know, Ray, the question there is what happened to the current points leader, the driver that won the first 3 races of the year. He's led the points all season long. No side bite. They have to find some grip. Loose, loose, loose on the racetrack. 5 career Iowa starts, 4 top 5s. He's won. He's run 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So this has been a good track for him. Just right now, battling a loose condition.
And my question is, Phil, what do you expect this racetrack to do tonight? Obviously, it's going to cool off significantly, but that doesn't always mean it's going to go one direction or the other.
No, it really doesn't. Usually, it just whatever direction the car wants to go is the way it's going to go. Right now, he's finding a loose condition. That could get worse, so Kelly Kofsky and his guys are going to have to make adjustments to that Allegiant Travel Chevrolet for Grant Enfinger.
If we take a look at the nose, right where it says Impala, you'll notice that Kelly opened up a couple of brake ducts on the front of that car today, and Grant said, I think that's a good choice because I'm able to use the fans on those brake ducts, and it'll help me get the car better throughout the night. We'll see if that's able to help him out later in the run.
Good battle right here. That's Tom Hessert, the 77 car. Mason Mitchell, the 78, has chased him down. That's a battle for the 6th spot. See Mason Mitchell up the racetrack about a lane more than Tom Hessert right now.
Hessert has certainly been very good when we go short track racing here in the ARCA Racing Series. A winner at Salem. Couple of wins at Salem. Obviously a former winner here at this track, so we'll have to watch if they're able to dial that in. Chad Bryan will be making that car better, I'm sure, around the first round of pit stop.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could have made any more changes after practice than Chad Bryan did with that car. Tom put it up in the top 10 in qualifying. Right now still maintains a 6th place spot, but Mason Mitchell is all over him.
Mitchell starting to come back to life as this is a battle for 6th position, and he has moved his Chevrolet right up on the backside of that number 77. And here we go. We've got a battle for the lead. All of a sudden, that big differential between Krzyzewski and Weatherman has evaporated. The 22 is right there.
Yeah, Weatherman has just slowly been chipping away at that lead right now. You see him underneath him now. Got a little bit loose there and exited 2.
I think he was taking a look to the bottom side of the racetrack, and the car didn't want to go where he was looking. See Crosley brands on the side of that number 22, a late addition for sponsorship for Kyle Weatherman. That's good.
Yeah, I was watching Paul Andrews in the qualifying line put those decals on. That's the worst possible scenario, is putting decals on a car when it's hot like that. That's a black car. The surface of that car was probably 130 degrees, and Paul was trying to put decals on. There's Paul right there. He did a pretty nice job from here.
Paul Andrews has won 170, 180 races in his career. One of the very smart minds in racing, and he has done a great job of piloting these Cunningham Motorsports cars this year. You know, when we look back at those drivers we were talking about with their first career win, a number 3 of those come from the Cunningham stable.
That's right. Kyle Weatherman was one of those. Trevor Bayne won in that car as well.
And Blake Jones at Talladega. So 3 Cunningham wins out of those 7 first-time winners. And this is a good battle here, as Sarah Cornett Ching in her race 101, that's the black car with number 2 on it. The 55 trying to get in there on that battle.
That's our leader, Krzyzewski, right there, putting the 55 of Gillen a lap down, now trying to put Sarah Cornett Ching a lap down. Been really impressed with Sarah Cornett Ching this year. Last 4 races, all top 10, 4 of the last 5 races, top 10 finishes.
Real good runs, but she is apparently going to go a lap down to Krzyzewski. And how odd is it to see that 55 at Gilliland having problems already? We'll have to see if we can get an update on what's wrong with that Venturini race car. Doesn't look like it's handling very well, but odd for them to go a lap down this early on in the race.
See Weatherman way up the racetrack now. He knows that groove. He's the one that showed Grant Enfinger a couple years ago how to make that groove work. You see him now creeping up the racetrack a little bit. There's a little bit more room yet up there, but right now Weatherman's making it work.
This racetrack offers these drivers probably the most choices of any track that we run on throughout the course of the season. Would you agree?
Absolutely. You see Krzyzewski now, he's actually running a little bit higher than Weatherman on the racetrack and really running some good lap times here. There's Matt Tifft. He holds down the 4th spot. Matt, what's going on with Matt Tifft?
One thing to think about, Phil, is the temperature. The sun has gone behind the grandstands, and as the sun sets, this is the first time Matt Tifft has said anything about the handling of the car that they can adjust. Meaning during the practice today, he and crew chief Donnie Richardson in that Federated Auto Parts Chevrolet, they made changes, but the car did not react. They made more changes to the rear suspension. It finally caught something at the end of practice, but in qualifying and until this point in the race, Matt Tifft actually said, I don't know what the car is feeling like. Now he knows the car is actually tight in the center. A lot of other teams down on my end of pit road are talking about how loose their car is entering the corner, but Tift's car is getting tighter. He said he has to get up off the racetrack. He may be one of the first cars that we may see run that high line.
Well, thank you, Jim. Obviously, we'll be listening as these drivers will be trying to relay lots of information to their crew chiefs and try to make these cars better. We expect 2 pit stops tonight here at the Iowa Speedway. So far, 35 laps complete of 150 racing for the ARCA division. Welcome back to the Iowa Speedway. We have been clean and green for 40 laps, but Michael Lira in his number 58 just made hard contact over between 3 and 4, so that brings out our first caution of the day so far here at Iowa.
Yeah, it looks like a right front issue. Let's take a look at it, Ray. Look right side of your screen. Yeah, it just hits the wall at almost a 30-degree angle. Nothing he could do about it then, but that was right in front of Krzyzewski, our leader, who had to turn left to avoid him, but hard contact with that Ford.
Lira making his 21st start here in the ARCA Racing Series, and talked to him before the day got started. He said he really loved this racetrack and felt like they had a shot at a top 10 tonight, but that certainly will not be the case, as he will have to take that one back to the garage. Kyle Petty, his crew chief, will probably say that one may be done for the day.
We talk about the pit window being somewhere between 95 and 105 laps. Well, right now there's 108 to go. It'll be a lap or so before they get to pit road, and it's going to be right on the outside of the window of being able to make it all the way. Austin Cindric came down pit road, did not even stop in his pits. He actually pitted before the pit road was open, so that will be a penalty for Austin Cindric. He will have to restart this race from the tail end of the longest line.
Cindric in the top 10, and the pit road was closed You see the flagman there, and we see the red lights over in turn number 4. So by coming down pit road, he will have to go to the tail of the field.
Yeah, he was running in the 3rd spot, really doing a nice job. Didn't quite have the speed that Krzyzewski and Weatherman did, but still doing a great job in his first ever stock car start. But a little bit of a mistake there is going to put him to the back for this restart.
Well, we've seen Brandon Jones able to run right through the field tonight. He's up in 3rd spot, so wonder if Austin Cindric can do the exact same thing. We will have, we assume that we'll have pit stops here as soon as they get the track cleared and open up the pits.
Yeah, we definitely will have pit stops. We're about halfway to a fuel run, so these guys will definitely make their way down pit road. Again, they may be on the outside envelope of them trying to make it on fuel, but they're definitely going to come in, put 4 tires on. And that's the thing I love, is it's going to give these crew chiefs an opportunity to adjust on these cars and see if they can match the speed that the 54 and the 22 have. Brandon Jones looks like he has that speed as well. He was way behind because of where he started, but now he's going to be even with him here for these restarts.
So Krzyzewski will lead him into the pits. Kyle Weatherman is 2nd. Brandon Jones runs 3rd right now with Tommy Hessert 4th. And Mason Mitchell has worked his way back up to 5th spot. We'll see how they go on to pit road and how they come off. The pit road are open. 54 heads in. We'll start with Jim Trado.
Krzyzewski's actually on the end of pits where he has a nice wide opening behind him. At the start finish, there's a wide open pit box. He'll come in, stop a bit short because he wants to leave room for his team, his buddy here on pit road, Tom Hessert. Nonetheless, the Costes machine comes down to pit road. He wants to change 4 tires. The crew chief, Brian Keselowski, said, "How are the temps?" He read the numbers, and the driver said, "Man, I feel really good. I didn't even turn my fans on yet." The Elmira Heat Treating Chevrolet now getting left side tires. Just a small air pressure adjustment to free him up 1 pound of air pressure, and he's going to be down on the way here shortly. Let's go to Rob.
And Jim, you can see the number 22 of Kyle Weatherman, the Cunningham Motorsports Dodge here in the pit area. Car has been tight in the center, 3 off. They're going to make a track bar adjustment for Hoosier tires and a full load of Sunoco fuel.
Weatherman's going to win that battle off pit road. Great pit work by Paul Andrews, guys. He's going to get out in front of Krzyzewski.
So our position 1 and 2 changed. Weatherman going to the front. We'll take a look at who else comes off pit road. There, the 25. He was running 3rd. Cindric in there, but he doesn't count, and Mason Mitchell comes off 4th. So our first round of pit stops are complete. We've got 45 down of 150 from Iowa. Well, folks, I hope you have saved a day of vacation because you're going to need to take one on Wednesday. July the 22nd, the Mud Summer Classic is back at Eldora, the only dirt racing in NASCAR, and we hope you join us because we've got you covered. All you got to do is tune in at 10 in the morning and lock the channel in. We're going to have it all for you. The qualifying races. The setup show will get underway at 8:30, and then at 9 o'clock, a great race. The dirt experts, the Dillon brothers, are going to be there, Phil.
Yeah, how about Brad Keselowski, former Cup champion, is going to be there as well.
Yeah, good field of race trucks. That's Wednesday right here on Fox. Here's why we are under caution here at the Iowa Speedway. We had Michael Lira going down into the corner, and something went wrong. Maybe a right front tire hard into the wall, and that brought out our first yellow of the night.
Yeah, it looks like a right front tire went down on that 58 car. Nothing he could do about it, just along for the ride at that point. Made pretty significant contact with a safer barrier. How about Josh Williams? He's going to get the free pass. He was a late entry. He was really questionable whether Josh was going to be able to make the race, and Aunt Rhonda came through and helped Josh get here. He told me that in the garage area this morning, that Aunt Rhonda gave him a little bit of money to get here.
Well, that's always nice to have a family member help you out. Josh Williams currently 2nd in the points here in the series, so good to see him get back on the lead lap. Matt Tifton, the number 52, had a good round of pit stops. Jim, let's get an update on how they've been so far.
Well, they were actually very fortunate when Michael Lira's car veered toward the outside wall. This is exactly what his right front tire did on Tiff's number 52 Chevrolet. It burst and ran over something on the racetrack. This Hoosier tire went boom, and Matt nursed it under caution. He came down pit road as the caution flew. He was nursing the car around the track, did not come in the pits before they were open. They changed right side tires, then they came back in again and changed left, so they were able to maintain their lead lap position. But that big blowout came at the most opportune time, if there is such a thing, because the tire went as soon as Lira's car caused the caution.
Well, that was a good break for Matt Tifft, and Phil, we see the number 99 of Austin Cindric now back to the back. I said his pit stop didn't matter. That wasn't really true, but because he had gone down before they opened the pits, you'll have to start on the tail end.
Yeah, there's a Ford EcoBoost onboard camera right there, that AutoZone Ford for Austin Cindric. There's Grant Enfinger right now. Grant currently runs in the 7th spot in that Jegs.com on board. And how about Brandon Jones, who drove his way all the way up to the 4th spot before the caution came out, running 3rd now in this restart.
Here we go, back to green flag racing at Iowa Speedway. We're coming up on the 1/3 mark of tonight's race.
Brandon Jones thought about driving to the inside of Weatherman for just a moment. Thought better of it. How about Kershievsky now? We got a car into the outside while Sarah Cornett-Ching. I thought I heard tires squeal.
And no question about it, you could hear it, but I didn't see who it was, and Sarah has made damage with that left rear of her race 101 race car.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be terminal. I think her guys are going to be able to beat that out, maybe get her back going, but you see how that's short in the rear of that car. They need to get the spoiler back if they can. Let's see what happened. She's by herself right in the middle of your screen, just got a little bit loose. Remember, low air pressure, saved it one time, then it got away from her. You see the left rear corner of that car get into the outside safer barrier.
Yeah, the quarter panel is probably not so hard to fix. That spoiler may be a little bit more work. So Sarah Cornett-Ching spins it over in turn number 2, and just that quickly we're back under caution here at the Iowa Speedway. Matt Kershievsky's your leader. We're going to take another short break. Back with more from the ARCA Racing Series. Welcome back. The ARCA Racing Series is here at the Iowa Speedway tonight. You know, there is a national championship. We all keep our eye on that. But this year they introduced a brand new deal. The Calypso Short Track Challenge is sponsored by Calypso Lemonade. And right now, Austin Lane Self is the current leader after that big win at Winchester. Vaulted him ahead of Kyle Weatherman. Weatherman right there, only 10 points back, and you never count out Grant Enfinger, Phil.
That's exactly right here. It's 11 races, every race 1 mile or less in the series, excluding the road course.
So there's 11 events, and at the end of the season, you're able to throw out your very worst score. So we're not going to know who wins this thing till we get right down to the end of the season. They run that final race at Salem.
That's exactly right.
So Weatherman, who's right there in that Calypso Lemonade Championship, is on the outside of row number 1. Kershievsky down to the inside. We're under caution for the second time as Sarah Cornett-Ching had a real lazy spin, had a little bit of damage to her left rear, but she's repaired it and back on the track. Pace car has the lights off. He'll come off at turn number 4, and we're ready to go back to racing here at Iowa. They go 2 by 2 through the field, and green flag is back out here at Iowa.
Keep an eye on that 25er Brandon Jones. He peeked to the inside last time. Not going to do it this time, but he is side by side with Weatherman.
Give you an update on Austin Cindric. You see that AutoZone race car down to the inside, number 99, still on the lead lap. He restarted in 9th position.
How about that strong number 54 Kershievsky to get that restart lead away from Weatherman? 3 wide.
Here down to the inside goes Cindric. He's got Matt Tifft in the center and Mitchell on the high side. And now Austin Wayne Self wants to get into that battle. They're still 3 wide through the center of the corner.
That's what this racetrack's built for, this 3 wide racing. See Todd Gillen in the 55 car right now. He's the first car 1 lap down, trying to stay in position to get the free pass if a caution comes out. Right along with Grant Enfinger now side by side with Tom Hessert.
That's a good battle for fourth, yeah.
Austin Cindric, the 99, lines up right behind the 23 of Enfinger. Enfinger gets that spot away from Tom Hessert. Put Enfinger up to 4th.
Phil, we saw our first caution today was Michael Lira. He has been treated and released from the infield care center. No problems for Michael other than a lot of damage to the right front of his number 58.
Good. Oh, trouble for Tom Birdie. Goes through the grass, the 20 car.
Tom Birdie down the front straightaway, able to keep it off of the wall. Good job there. And the caution will be out now for the 3rd time here for a single car incident.
Yeah, that's going to be a good break for Todd Gillen. Remember, we talked about him being in position to get the free pass, and he certainly stayed in that spot. Put Todd Gillen back on the lead lap.
Birdie gets it down through the grass, fires it back up again, and he will maybe get ahead of this group. We'll see if he's able to do that. He was racing on the inside of James Swanson. Swanson in that number 48 had the high line. Birdie makes a little bit of contact, and after he overcorrects, he's through the infield.
He does a nice job, though, keeping that car out of the inside wall. See him right now. He realized when he got back to the pavement he needed to let off the brakes or he was going to slide into the inside wall. He did that. turn it around, but no contact with the inside wall.
Nice job by Birdie there. Under caution now for the third time here at the Iowa Speedway. Each of those being really, in general, single car incidents, so no big ones yet. That's good news.
Tom Birdie, 71 years old.
He will get his car back to the back of the pack here, and that should be a relatively quick cleanup for the track crew down on the front stretch.
I think these caution laps are giving these guys an opportunity to save a little bit of gas. We talked about that first pit stop being right outside maybe their pit window. You see some of the guys coming down pit road. Josh Williams is one of them, but as we mentioned, Todd Gilliland will get the free pass in the 55 car.
Gilliland had gone a lap down, and we had gotten a report from the pit area. Jim Trader told us that his car was just wicked tight. He couldn't turn it off of the corner, so I'm sure that Ryan Pickle London, Dave Liner, and those guys down there have made a big adjustment for him, tried to get that thing better. Dave Liner, the crew chief, I guess, on the 55, I'm sure trying to make it better for Todd.
Yeah, right now it's probably be a good opportunity for the 55 to come down pit road. He gets a free pass. He will have to start at the back. And Rob, what's going on with James Swanson in the 48?
Yeah, it looks like the 48 of James Swanson in here, guys. They got the left side jacked up. They're going to put 2 tires on there, and it looks like they could, nope, just the left side tires right now. You know, the 48 driving for James Hilton, currently 10th in the points. One career Iowa start. He was 30th back in 2013, but he's coming off of his best career finish with the ARCA Racing Series. That was an 8th at Winchester, also leading a handful of laps. So Swanson here in the pit area under this caution, new left sides, and they will set him down and send him back out.
James said getting that top 10 at Winchester, the highlight of his career, and I love that story with the can-do on the hood there. A charity that helps a lot of veterans find out that after they have injuries from various things that happen to them, that they can do things and get back and have a prosperous life. So great charity for James Swanson on that car 48.
Yeah, the last 3 times out, top 15 finishes. Great job by James Swanson, that entire James Hilton team.
So they'll get some left side tires on that number 48. He'll rejoin the field. Todd Gilliland will get the free pass, so we will restart this race with 12 cars on the lead lap. It has been a wicked pace for those front runners. They have been really cutting through the field. Kurziewski out front. Brandon Jones has moved into second place. He came off of the pit road in third. Both of those guys have been able to get by Kyle Weatherman.
Yeah, Weatherman has not been real good on the starts and the restarts, so that if we have a late restart late in the race, that's going to be very worrisome for him, but Kurziewski has been on it.
Brandon Jones, as we talked about at the top of the show, with a lot of experience at this racetrack. And when we look back at the K&N Series, I talked about how tight those fields can be. It's a big deal to get a win here whenever you come and race against that tough of a field of drivers.
Yeah, he was able to beat Kenzie Ruston that was driving that 96 car, the best finish ever by female in that series.
So Jones a win here in the K&N, a great run in the Camping World Trucks recently. So looking to capitalize on his experience here at this racetrack.
Also a couple of wins in his career here in the ARCA Racing Series. Looking for his first win this year, though, in the ARCA Racing Series.
Absolutely. Venturini Motorsports fields at number 25. Ansel gloves on the hood, Menards on the side. He shares this ride with Frank Kimmel throughout the course of the season. Certainly great to have a mentor like Frank helping you through the year. So Jones will be down to the inside. Kurziewski in the 54 to the high side. It'll be Enfinger and Weatherman on row number 2.
Let's see if Kurziewski can get a great start like he has every time we've had a start or a restart.
Jones has always tried to get down to the inside when we get to turn number 1. Green flag is back out. Kurziewski with a great jump that time.
But Brandon Jones is going to fight back on the inside, drive it hard down in turn number 1.
The bottom line certainly fast. We saw that in qualifying, and a 25 will take the lead as he goes through turns 1 and 2.
How about that from last to first? A matter of 62 laps.
That is pretty impressive for Brandon Jones, no question about it.
Looks like the 22 of Weatherman is struggling just a little bit. How about the 23 of Enfinger going by on the outside?
Here comes that Allegiant Travel Impala. Grant Enfinger, our points leader, a 3-time winner this season, said he hopes the track comes to him. They'll make some adjustments. And he has got that thing dialed in now as he's up to third and putting pressure on our third place driver.
He actually lost that spot just now too, Weatherman, as we ride along on the Ford EcoBoost on board of Austin Cindric. Austin's going to look to the inside of Enfinger as they get down in turn number 1.
Now, how about this, Phil? The number 99 car for Austin Cindric, our only composite-bodied car here today. Now, throughout the course of this season, we have seen a lot of these new bodies on the race cars when we go short track racing, but tonight, the 99's the only one with one here.
Looked like he was going to go to the outside of Enfinger, and Grant split up the racetrack just a little bit, and then he switched over to the inside. They're dead even as they get to 1. Give Austin the spot.
The race car that Enfinger is in tonight has not raced yet this season. Spencer Gallagher used it to race a couple of times back in 2014, but Grant said, I don't have any reservations about that. He said, anytime Kelikowski gets his hands on one of these cars, I know he'll set it up for me to have a shot to win.
Yeah, it looked like it was really good right after the restart now, but it's fading just a little bit. He's dropped to the 5th spot, lost a little bit of contact with Austin Cindric in the 99.
Krzyzewski now in second, trying to find a pace to keep up with Brandon Jones. How about that race car that's out front, Rob?
Yeah, doing a great job for sure. We knew he would start deep, and we knew that he would race his way to the front. Maybe not this quick, but doing a great job. The car was tight in the center prior to that pit stop. They fixed that, but Brandon told him over the radio, I need it a little bit tighter. They made an air pressure adjustment, a track bar adjustment, took 4 tires, and this thing's a rocket ship right now, guys.
So Ryan Pickle London making some adjustments for Brandon Jones, a 2-time winner in this series. His last win was at IRP over in Indianapolis back in 2014. So been almost a year since he's been to Victory Lane.
Oh, trouble for James Swanson in the 48 car. He's going to bring out another caution. Doesn't appear to be any contact with a wall, but looks like he's trying to refire that car right now. He has it refired.
Caution once again. That'll be the 4th time the yellow is flown. Tom Birdie trying to get to the bottom. 48 spins it out, so we're under caution at lap 68. Well, the All-Star break is over, and it's time to get back to baseball. And we've got you covered here on Fox Sports 1. Tomorrow, it's a Major League Baseball doubleheader. How about the National League leading Dodgers? Clayton Kershaw will be pitching for them as they take on the East leading Nationals. Doug Fister on the mound. And then at 7 p.m., it's the Battle of I-71. The Indians versus the Reds. Corey Kluber versus Anthony DeSclafani. We got baseball for you right here tomorrow on Fox Sports 1. Oh, there's a problem, Phil. We had a couple of drivers coming down pit road, and the 59 will get a penalty here for taking equipment with him.
Yeah, he looks like he has the track bar adjuster there that they left in that car. He'll have to go to the back of the pack for this restart for carrying equipment out of his pit box.
David Levine currently in 12th position, so
a couple more of our lead lap cars made their way down pit road. Mason Mitchell came down pit road on lap number 70, as well as Josh Williams in the 6 car.
So Williams back in 12th. Mason Mitchell on the scoring monitor in 10th. So those guys will all be kind of bunched up when we go back to green here.
Yeah, with only 12 cars on the lead lap, it's a good opportunity to come in, make another adjustment. You know you're going to restart up in the top 12. There's our free pass recipient right there, the 38 of Blake Jones. Remember, a winner earlier this year at Talladega.
Jones got that big win when he was teammates with Tom Hessert. We were at Talladega. Hessert took the white flag, looked like he had it in the bag, and ran out of fuel. And Blake Jones came around and stole that victory. One of the drivers that we talked about that got their first career win, and we've had 7 of those in a row. Here's a look back at Talladega. On the outside there, you see that 22. That's Blake Jones. Down to the inside was Tom Hessert. That was the restart, but when they came back to the line, it was all Blake Jones, and he took his Uncle Ray's potato chips number 22 to Victory Lane. And that has really set us up with a great run of young drivers. That was the beginning of it. And then we've gone 7 consecutive races with a first-time winner. An absolutely amazing statistic.
He had a huge lead when he got to the start-finish line at Talladega, but they were 3 and 4 wide, about 4 rows deep right behind him.
Big pack in the back for sure. So there is Blake Jones. He will get the free pass, and that will put him in 13th position as we get ready to go. Mason Mitchell came down pit road. Let's find out more about what they did. Back to Rob Klepper.
Well, thank you, guys. It was a 1 round of wedge in the right rear. Turned down on the track bar, loose on the racetrack. They're trying to tighten that car up, so he gave up a little bit of track position. As Phil Parsons mentioned, you can only go back to the 12th position. Came in, made an adjustment. Hopefully it will be better for that number 78, the local boy, trying to win here tonight at his home track.
So far, we haven't seen him in position to be a winner, so why not keep adjusting, right, Phil?
Absolutely. We're only halfway into this race here, and I know his guys will make some adjustments and see if they can make that car better. Right now, we've got some really good cars up front, really fast cars up front, but what an outstanding, amazing year he had with his consistency last year.
Yeah, the numbers really were staggering throughout the course of the season. How about 751 laps led? That is pretty impressive. The poles were great, but he said getting that win at Chicagoland, the highlight of the year. But as he said in our pre-race interview tonight, winning here would even top that in the championship.
Yeah, 20 races last year. He finished in the top 10 18 times.
Danny Johnson, the new crew chief over there, calling the shots, and so we'll see if he's able to fix Mason Mitchell up, get him back into contention. We're just at the halfway point when we come to the green flag this time. The lights are out on the pace car. We've had 4 cautions here, and we're back to green flag racing. The number 25 of Brandon Jones leads him down.
Krzyzewski spun the tires that time. Now he's going to switch over to the inside. Brandon Jones with the advantage going in 1.
Here comes the Weatherman down to the inside. Cindric now running in 4th position.
Side by side for 5th, the 23 of Enfinger, the 98 of Austin Wayne Self. Here comes Matt Tifft in the 52 car trying to join that battle.
We mentioned Austin Wayne finally got that victory at Winchester. Got that monkey off his back. Became the 7th consecutive first-time winner here in ARCA. He's in that number 98 right ahead of Tifft and Enfinger down to the inside. You can throw a blanket on these 3.
Yeah, Matt Tift's going to use that outside groove to try to make his way around Enfinger. We're riding along with Grant Enfinger right now, the Jegs.com onboard. Looks like he gets a little bit of grip down there on the bottom. Matt Tift's going to try to fight back on the outside.
Up to the high side, Austin Wayne Self and that number 98. Using the high groove, Enfinger trying to use the middle of the racetrack. When we qualified, these guys were right down on the line. That was the fast way around, but not necessarily when you're racing.
Great side-by-side battle for the 3rd spot. How about the 99 of Austin Cindric moving up on Weatherman?
You know, we showed the video of all the racing Austin's been doing. He talked about his schedule this afternoon. I think in the next 16 days he has 11 races, and they're all over the place.
Yeah, and that's how to do it, too. Get that experience, but he's using it in so many different platforms. Open wheel stuff, Global Rallycross, Continental Tire Challenge, all sorts of racing here in the ARCA Racing Series as well.
And going to Australia, so he's been all over the place trying to get his hands on a wheel of just about anything he can drive. He's doing a great job tonight. Now he's trying to put some pressure on Weatherman. Cindric trying to get up there and fight for 3rd.
Yeah, Austin Cindric has a really good car there. He's got great crew chief working with him, Chris Carey. Chris Carey was a crew chief when Parker Kligerman came within 5 points of winning the championship. When Justin Lofton was able to win that championship, won 9 races that year.
I saw Dave Maneri down there in the pit area, also Jeffrey Thousand, a couple of guys that were very instrumental in getting Rusty Wallace all the victories he had when he drove for Penske. Those guys have been around a long time, have a lot of knowledge, and they helped Austin out a good bit today.
Yeah, and Austin's such a fine young man, too. I know those guys really do it with enthusiasm because he's such a good kid here and really just a sponge, just trying to learn about these cars.
Oh, and by the way, he's 16.
16 years old. He's going to be going in his junior year here in another month or so.
Absolutely. Going to school over at the Cannon School in Concord, North Carolina. So doing a great job here trying to put some pressure on Weatherman using the bottom side. Looks like he may have got just a little loose that time as he came down the front straightaway.
It doesn't look like Weatherman's car is as good as it was prior to the caution flag and the pit stop. So Paul Andrews may look for another opportunity to adjust on that car. We still have 69 laps to go in this race, so the long way to go.
These 2 guys running side by side right now, and they are racing for 3rd position. They're about a 1.5 seconds behind our leader, Brandon Jones.
You can see the momentum that Weatherman gets from the high side. He keeps that thing wound up just a little bit more from the high side. Austin has to pinch that thing down just a little bit on the bottom.
Krzyzewski in second place. He has closed the gap a little bit on Brandon Jones. Krzyzewski, Austin Cindric, two of the guys you talked about at the top of the show that could keep this streak alive. Matt Tiff currently runs back in 7th. Another one of those drivers we thought could have a shot to win tonight.
See, Austin Wayne Self right now holds down that 5th spot, the red number 98. I think they made his car better on that pit stop.
The number 99 car down to the bottom of the racetrack in his Ford Fusion. For an update on Austin Cindric, let's go back to Rob.
Yeah, Ray, he's been very happy with this race car on their first and only pit to this point. Just 4 tires and a load of Sunoco fuel. No changes to the car at all, as it looks like we have caution on the racetrack.
Yeah, Rob, I think Tom Birdie has had another a problem. Birdie now involved in 3 consecutive cautions, but this time it looks like a significant amount of damage on the right side. So Tom Birdie in his 3rd caution. That'll be caution number 5 here at lap 84 from Iowa. Well, we hope you like your Friday night ARCA racing. We'll do it again next week as we head off to Indianapolis. Coverage begins at 9 p.m. Eastern here on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Phil, let's take a look at some of the upcoming races we've got here in the ARCA Racing Series. Obviously, Indianapolis, one of the great short tracks at Lucas Oil Raceway. And then August 1st, we're off to Pocono. That event will be on Fox Sports 2. We're going to take a short break through the August and September beginning there because as they go to the mile dirts, we don't have that coverage, but we will also bring them coverage from the end of the season as we go to Kentucky and Kansas. Go back to the reason why we're under caution here for this last time. Tom Birdie made pretty significant contact with the right side of his number 20 race car, and then as he went down the back straightaway, let down a good bit of oil, so they had to put out some stay dry, and that took a little bit of time for the cleanup.
It's a good view right there out of the Crosley onboard of Bo LeMastus.
A.J. Fike hasn't run much this season. This is only his 4th start of the year, but he will be the free pass after having a really great run, bringing home a top 5 up at Toledo. So he'll get back on the lead lap, and let's check back in with Rob Klepper.
Well, thanks, guys. Spalding and the rest of the boys very happy to get the lucky dog for A.J. Fike out of Galesburg, Illinois. Car was extremely loose in practice, loose in qualifying, and now tight in this race. So they continue to work on this thing to try and make it better for A.J. Fike. You know, he's got laps at this racetrack in USAC midgets, sprint cars, Silver Crown cars. He ran 4th in the Silver Crown earlier this year. Actually ran 6th here at Iowa with the Silver Crown Series earlier this year. Has a lot of laps in open wheel cars, making his first ARCA start here at Iowa tonight. Trying to get this car a little bit better so he can race his way into the top 10.
We normally always see A.J. on the dirt tracks.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's run a lot down at Knoxville, too, which isn't too far from here. So Fike will get back on the lead lap, and that'll keep us at 14 cars in the front cycle. So once again, Brandon Jones up front in car number 25, driving for Venturini Motorsports. Matt Krzyzewski has been in the top 1, 2, or 3 all evening long, Phil. Right now he runs 2nd.
Yeah, really had an outstanding season. Originally came into the season only planning on running the super speedways of Daytona, Talladega. He purchased another car. Brian Keselowski got it ready, so they've opened up their schedule to now to run probably 8 races. And again, of all the races he's run this year, the 5 races, he's been in the top 10 every single start.
A 5th at Pocono and a 5th at Michigan, his best of this season, hoping to do better than that tonight. And it looks like that's a very real possibility. On board here with Brandon Jones. Again, he is our front running car in that Ansel onboard. The number 99 is our Ford EcoBoost. That is Austin Cindric, who's up to 4th. Good run for him.
Yeah, I was listening to his radio during our commercial break, listening to crew chief Chris Carrier telling Austin that if we went green the rest of the way, they should be good on fuel. As we speculated, those guys that stopped back there, probably with all the caution laps, will make them good on fuel.
Here's our Jegs on board. That is Grant Enfinger. Started 5th tonight, currently running in 6th. And we'll see if Enfinger is able to adjust on his car and get back in the hunt right now. Krzyzewski to the high side. Brandon Jones down to the inside. Who will get the jump this time? Looks like 25 comes off the line quicker, but Krzyzewski with him side by side as they head to turn 1.
Yeah, what a great restart for Krzyzewski on the outside. Looks like he may have the advantage here as they exit 2.
Coming off the corner down that back straightaway, Krzyzewski has the advantage. They go through the kitty litter. Brandon Jones in second. He's low on the racetrack, but give the lead back to Matt Krzyzewski from Mansfield, Pennsylvania.
And give Austin Cindric that third spot all over the back of Brandon Jones.
99 pushing him as they come into turn number 1. Cindric down to the low side, and they're side by side.
Great racing all the way through the top 10 here. Good battle for the second spot.
2 cars running hard trying to get second place. Cindric down to the inside. Brandon Jones to the high side. Right behind them, a good battle between Weatherman and Enfinger.
How about Grant Enfinger? Seems like his car is really good after a restart. Then it fades just a little bit. Right now battling the 22 of Weatherman for the 4th spot.
They had a test here recently, Phil, and Kyle Weatherman rode so high he was almost touching the outside wall. He said he loved it there, but today the weather's so different he just hasn't been able to get to that part of the racetrack.
Yeah, we saw those guys move up the racetrack before that first round of pit stops. They haven't got back up there that high yet. Looks like Weatherman now is about a lane higher than Brandon Jones.
He must have heard me.
That's right.
Over that high side, that's where it was fast. Grant Enfinger trying to get back in the hunt. What's the update on the Allegiant Travel Chevrolet, Rob?
For Enfinger, Phil, you hit it on the head. It is very good for a lap or 2 after the restarts, and then he loses side bite on the longer run. So they're really looking for another caution to come in here and make some adjustments on that number 23.
Well, we're at 53 laps to go. The ultimate question is, will the crew chiefs gamble and be willing to change tires with this many good race cars on the lead lap? We'll see how it plays out. But right now, here goes that 22 trying to take the position back away. He's going to go down to the middle of the racetrack. Brandon Jones to the high side. Cindric right there in the hunt.
Yeah, Austin got a little bit loose off of turn number 4 that last time, but Weatherman is all over the back trying to move to the inside of Brandon Jones. Weatherman's car looks like it's improving a little bit.
Oh, tight racing that time as there's only a couple of feet between them. But again, this racetrack gives you so much room to work. And they're able to stay apart. But here comes Cindric. He's going to try to look to the bottom of the racetrack in his number 99 car.
How about a battle of 3 teenagers here running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th?
Brandon Jones, the driver, probably with the most experience on this racetrack amongst this group. And Josh Williams has made hard contact in car number 6. That brings out our 6th caution today. And Josh Williams will be done for the day, it appears. And that's going to really hurt his hunt in the championship.
Yeah, I can see water pouring out of that car. He needs to watch his gauges, be careful there. But that's the last thing that Josh needed, was to tear up this race car here.
RKO Moore 396 engine underneath the hood here of his Musselman's Applesauce number 6, and that's an engine that the team owns. Josh will want to get that to the pits quickly, but hard contact for Josh Williams.
Yeah, he's going straight to the garage race. He just gets a little bit loose there, running a little bit high.
And he had it locked down, but as he spun around, the safer barrier right there, and hard contact to that left front.
Yeah, a lot of damage to that 6th car. Tough break for Josh Williams. Comes in here 2nd in points.
His aunt's going to have to get the checkbook out and write a little bigger check, I think.
Yeah, sure appreciate Aunt Rhonda helping Josh get here.
Yeah, it was great to see Josh make it here. They were not sure they were going to be able to make it to this race tonight. Aunt Rhonda helped him out, but it did not end well as he's made hard contact. So anticipating pit stops here as we have 101 laps complete at the Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, now's the time to do it, Ray. I don't think you want to wait much longer than this, because you got to have a little bit of time in case some guys stay out here.
Matt Krzyzewski the leader, Brandon Jones in 2nd, Weatherman. And that's pretty much the way they came off the racetrack the last time they went down pit road. Here they go. Let's start off with Jim Trado.
It's going to be a 4-tire change for Hoosier Radials for our race leader, Matt Krzyzewski. His crew chief and fellow driver next week at Lucas Oil Raceway, Brian Keselowski, making the call. We are pitting. They like the idea that they were good on long runs with the used tires, but he said, you know what, we can't afford to let anyone else pit, even as we're the best car on old tires. They're going to put 4 fresh tires on, just a small tire pressure adjustment for our race leader, Matt Krzyzewski, on the top of your screen. Now let's go down to Rob.
For Brandon Jones, guys, 4 tires, a full load of Sunoco fuel, and a track bar adjustment. He said it's a plow in the middle of the corner. Crew told me when he says it's a plow, probably 5 out of 10 on car being tight. So they're going to try and loosen this thing up, send him back out to the racetrack.
Boy, it looked like Austin Cindric really jumped out of his pit stall. He may have won the battle off pit road, but man, he looked like he was going awfully fast.
Yeah, he did go pretty quickly out of his pit stall. Cindric going to be the first one to come off pit road after Matt Krzyzewski, the leader, leads us down. We had pit stops at lap 102 here at Iowa. Welcome back to Iowa. The crew chiefs were saving some tires. So after we got 2/3 of the way through this race, everybody that was running up front came down to get some service. Matt Krzyzewski was the leader as we came in, but Austin Cindric, who was running 4th, had a great pit stop, and he comes out as our leader in that AutoZone 4.
Yeah, great pit work by his guys. Remember, they made that penalty early on. This is a replay. This is what put us under caution. Josh Williams, the 6 car, gets turned around over there in turn 2, makes pretty significant contact with the safer barrier, took his car straight to the garage area.
So Josh Williams goes to the garage, but Bo Lamastus into number 42, Crosley Brands Dodge, will be our free pass, and he will get to come back around and rejoin the tail end of the field. So let's go back down pits and find out a little update. We'll start with Rob Klepper.
For Kyle Weatherman, guys, it was a long pit stop, trouble on the right front tire. 4-tire change. They made a track bar adjustment. He said the car's been pretty decent, but they had an issue on the right front, and that's why he lost some spots.
Well, thank you, Rob. Weatherman came in running 3rd, and as we get ready for the restart, he will be 9th on the grid. So after a tough pit stop, we'll see if he's able to get back in the hunt of this thing.
Yeah, there's a 55 of Todd Gilliland. He got a free pass early on. Made his way back up here into the top 10 right now, running in the 10th spot.
Gilliland has said he was very tight early on, but right now Austin Cindric is our leader. He'll bring him back to green as we come down the front stretch. The number 99 is the leader, but he's going to be in a sandwich there. It looked to me like the 23 of Grant Enfinger was going to try to go way low. He thought better of it.
Yeah, Grant wanted that spot there. Look at them 3 wide, bumping each other.
54 Krzyzewski in this one to the outside. Austin Wayne Self right in front. That's Weatherman in the 22. Good racing all over the track here at Iowa.
Nice run through the center of the corner for the 90. We're 3 wide once again. Grant Enfinger now has got that 2nd spot.
Enfinger down to the inside. On the high side, that's Blake Jones. And here comes Mason Mitchell. He's going to go right by Blake Jones. He's going to take that spot. He's going to bring Tom Hessert with him.
Amazing racing here. Inside of 50 laps to go. Here goes Krzyzewski. Drives by the 90. Just barely clears him. Tries to do a little bit of a slide job.
I think these guys can see that that 99 is dialed in, and they got to race hard here for every position to try to get back in it, to go up there and give them a challenge.
Yeah, these guys are running some fast laps right now. That last lap was a 24:53 for Austin Cindric. That's only a couple tenths of a second off the pole earlier.
Where has Tom Hessert been? Man, he is right back in his Barbera's Dodge. He is on the high side here. We're going to get 3 wide. Down to the middle goes the 22, and there's contact between he and his teammate.
I didn't think there was any room there, and obviously wasn't. Make sure we don't have a tire rub on Weatherman's car.
Weatherman tried to squeeze it in the middle, in between his teammate Tom Hessert and Krzyzewski. Weatherman gets the spot for right now, but they did make some contact. Krzyzewski down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Okay, Krzyzewski is on a mission right now, all the way down to the bottom, trying to get by Tom Hessert. Look at him lined up on the outside.
Man, this is awesome. Great racing, and there you see that 77 bottoming out. But we've seen that throughout the course of the night, Phil. Just dragging that splitter a little bit on the left front.
Yeah, when we get air pressure built back up, that goes away.
40 to go, and they're racing like crazy here at Iowa. Krzyzewski and Tom Hessert with a good battle, but back up to the front, it's Austin Cindric But here comes Mason Mitchell. He is closing in on our leader.
Yeah, Mason Mitchell has made a number of pit stops. He's running the high side. He tested over here a week or two ago. He tested on the high side. He said, that's where I'm going to be tonight, on the high side. His car is better than it's been all night. He was the fastest car that last lap.
It was so loose, and they worked on it. Danny Johnson said, we will tighten you up. And they've made a number of pit stops, and guess what? He's right in the hunt tonight. Carl Chevrolet on the hood of that race car. It's a Chevy, and he said it'd be the biggest win of his career if he could pull it off here at the Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, we know how important it is to win at his hometown track here. Mason Mitchell has got a couple top 10s here, 2 previous starts, but looking for more.
From West Des Moines, Iowa is Mason Mitchell. Lots of friends and family here tonight in the grandstands. It would be a big deal, but we've got a lot of racing left for sure.
Going to try the high side, going to try to get up above Austin Cindric. He thinks that's where he's going to have to make the pass, on the high side.
These guys converted over to Chevrolets full time at Mason Mitchell Motorsports. And as of right now, as far as we know, this is the only race left on his schedule for the ARCA division in 2015. So he knows how important it is to have a good showing. And right now, he is putting pressure on Austin Cindric.
Battling all over the racetrack. Right side of your screen, that's Weatherman, the 22, trying to get underneath Brandon Jones in the 25. That's a battle for the 4th spot.
Grant Enfinger in the middle. You can see him there on the right side of your screen. He is in 3rd position. Those guys battling hard for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but up front, Mason Mitchell trying to put some pressure on a 16-year-old driver making his first career start in Austin Cindric.
He would join a pretty exclusive group if he's able to win in his first ever start. See Mason Mitchell up on the high side. A good battle. Here's Austin Wayne Self, the 98, trying to get around the 77 of Tom Hessert. That's a battle for 7th, and he's got it.
AM Technical Solutions on that number 98, our most recent winner at Winchester Speedway, and he goes by Tommy Hessert. That'll give him the spot for 7th. Mason Mitchell trying to put some pressure on Austin Cindric. We're in about 30 laps to go, so we need another quick break here from Iowa Speedway. Austin Cindric is your leader in car number 99.
It's made with natural ingredients like pure cane sugar and real lemon bits. Wherever summer takes you, make sure you take Calypso Lemonade. Get a taste of the islands no matter where you are. Find it today at your neighborhood Menards.
Enjoy movies better with Time Warner Cable, the world's greatest mall cop.
Oh! That's clean.
Star Michael Bisping comes home to battle a surging Talus Latus. He's live from Scotland. It all starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1. The UFC wake-up call. And boy, do we have a wake-up call here for Austin Cindric. The number 78 of Mason Mitchell has said, don't look in your mirror, pal, because I am right there.
Ray, while we're away at commercial break, we had a great battle. Austin Cindric caught a little bit of traffic off of turn number 4. Watch this now. Mason Mitchell got to the inside. They go side by side, bump at the start-finish line. Austin does a nice job pinching him down a little bit lower than he wants to go, and he had that momentum on the high side to get that lead back. A little bit of contact right there.
They made contact on that left front of the 99. We'll keep an eye on that, but Mason Mitchell driving with everything he's got, and Austin Cindric putting on a great show. How about that in-car camera? That is great side-by-side racing. We see it all the time here at Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, Austin did a really nice job pitching into it. Now, you see the line he's running right now. When Mason Mitchell got to the inside, Austin was a full lane and a half lower, trying to pinch Mason down so he couldn't get that good grip up off the corner.
ARCA started 2 big programs this year. Oh, we've got the number 2 car. That's Sarah Cornett Ching, and we are going to have another yellow here as Sarah has spun down off of the speedway, and they decided, even though she got it going quickly, they're going to throw another yellow. So under caution now for the 7th time at Iowa Speedway. What a battle we've got up front between Austin Cindric and Mason Mitchell.
You do all this research on the perfect car. Gas mileage, horsepower, torque ratios. 3 spreadsheets later, you finally bring home the one. Then smash it into a tree. Your insurance company's all too happy to raise your rates. Maybe you should have done a little more research on them.
For drivers with accident.
Here's a reason for our caution. Sarah Cornett Ching brought out the yellow, and she was able to get it. Yeah, but she got way high on the track, Phil, and it got slippery like ice.
Yeah, she got up there and switched up a little bit. Lost control of the car. Did a nice job not getting into that outside wall. Got to refired and on her way.
ARCA fired up the yellow there, which was a good call so that everyone could get back under control. But I'm telling you, the racing we have seen in these last 30 laps here at Iowa have been absolutely spectacular. 21 laps to go. Austin Cindric is our leader. Let's get an update on that race car from Rob.
He's been talking to his crew chief, Chris Carrier. He's been talking to his spotter, Kyle Harvick. They are helping him around the racetrack, pumping this young driver up. It's his first ARCA race. It's his first stock car race, and he's got a shot to win this race here at Iowa Speedway, helping him with his lines, where he's good coming off the corner, where he's good entering the corner, and talking him through this restart as well. It'd be pretty amazing, guys, to see Cindric in that 99 get the win here tonight at Iowa.
Absolutely. And Phil, I started to talk about two big initiatives that ARCA brought up this year. The Ilmor 396 engine, which most of the fast cars have here, and they brought in the 5-star composite body. Now, most of the guys are running these on short tracks, but this weekend we got in the garage and we saw mostly steel body cars.
Yeah, certainly did. This is the only composite car that Austin Cindric's running. And by the way, the guy on the right-hand side, behind the guy with the sunglasses on his hat, that is his dad, Tim Cindric, up there on the spotter stand, just keeping an eye. And there he is right there as he turns toward the camera. Austin doing such an outstanding job. No matter what happens, we've got 20 laps to go. He has been outstanding in this race.
Tim's got a stopwatch in his hand, but no radio. I wonder if that was planned.
He's used to running at pits for the Indy cars,
yeah,
for Penske Racing, and now he's up here on the spotter stand.
Busy night as the Indy cars will be here at the Iowa Speedway tomorrow night, but boy, not only would this be an amazing deal for Austin Cindric to be the only composite-bodied car here amongst an entire field of guys who said you couldn't win with one, but also to do it in his first career start, and then also extend our list of winners, first-time winners, all the way to 8. An absolutely amazing statistic so far this season.
Yeah, Austin's been really impressive this entire day. He was good in practice. He was obviously great in qualifying. But the most impressive part to me was when Mason Mitchell caught him in traffic, got beside him, and Austin ran down a lane and a half, 2 lanes down lower than he had been, just to pinch Mason down so he wasn't able to get in that throttle and get that run up off the corner. That's what kept him the lead.
All right, we're inside 20 to go. This could be some hot and heavy action. What do you say to your young driver who's 16 and making his first start in a big stock car as you get ready for the most important restart of his life?
Just take your time, get to your restart zone, try not to spin the tires, go smooth up through the gears, and just keep that 78 behind you.
Carl Chevrolet on the hood of the 78, a local Chevrolet dealer that sponsors lots of cars here at Iowa. It would be an amazing deal for Mason Mitchell. How about a first-time winner in Austin Cindric? Or will we see someone spoil the party? 19 laps to go. Light is off on the pace car. We'll see if we can finish this one to green. Here they come, 2 by 2 out of the corner. They're tight on that front row. Down to the inside is the 78. Looks like the 99 gets a good restart.
How about Grant Enfinger? Got down to the inside. He's got a little bit of push from Brandon Jones.
Enfinger down to the inside in his Allegiant Travel Chevrolet, car number 23 with a good run. Now to the high side. Here comes Kyle Weatherman.
How about 3 wide for the lead?
3 wide down into the corner. Now they go to turn number 3. Austin Cindric goes from the lead back to 4th in 3/4 of a lap.
And how about Weatherman? He's got Mason Mitchell all over him. Weatherman's got the lead.
Kyle Weatherman, the high side rider. Whenever we test it here, he's got that car up to the high side. Number 22 back out front. He's ahead of local boy Mason Mitchell.
Remember 2 years ago, Kyle Weatherman is the guy that figured out that high side first. How about here goes Austin Cindric trying to get back by Enfinger, trying to take back over the 3rd spot. He's got it for now.
Oh, good. And on camera here, we're on board with the Jegs.com race car. That's Grant Enfinger right behind that number 99, trying to push him down into the center of the corner. That's a battle for 3rd.
You know, Austin Cindric right now trying to gain back that ground he lost on that restart. He had a bunch of veterans around him. They snookered him on that restart.
Enfinger got pushed down into the corner by Brandon Jones, and Jones drops back to 5th position in half a lap.
Here they are, 3 wide. Austin Wayne Self goes by a couple cars. Austin Wayne Self on the move.
No, Jones said, I'm not done. Don't count me out. Here goes down to the bottom, goes the 77 of Tom Hessert. These guys are changing position 2 or 3 times every lap.
And Kurziewski, the 54 up there as well. There's Matt Tifft, the number 52 Federated car.
Kurziewski has been one of the best cars throughout the course of the night. Right now running in 7th position.
Boy, a tough corner that time for Grant Enfinger. Not sure exactly what happened. He's lost about 6 car lengths to Matt Tifft.
Kurziewski down to the bottom. Here we go. There is Grant Enfinger, and does he have a problem?
Looks like he might have a tire going down or something.
Brandon Jones.
Let's see what happened. Maybe the 23 got in the wall, Ray. You see him way up the racetrack. Got into the outside wall with that right rear corner.
Grant Enfinger with a good bit of damage to that right rear of the Allegiant Travel Chevrolet. Our point leader comes in with a 115-point lead. It looked like he was going to possibly contend for the win. We'll see if he can stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's going to rob that car of some rear spoiler downforce. See, Austin Cindric trying to make his way back by the 78 of Mason Mitchell. Kyle Weatherman's loving those guys racing.
Mason Mitchell is closing, though, as we see that differential change a little bit. Just about a half a second now between Kyle Weatherman out front in the Cunningham number 22 and Mason Mitchell. Here comes Austin Cindric, says, don't count me out, as we're heading towards 10 to go.
Yeah, Austin's car is so good down into the corner. He can really get deep down in the corner. He would love to be up there where Mason Mitchell is running that high side. I think right now Mason Mitchell is running the line that Austin would like to be running.
Pikes Peak Raceway used to be my favorite in the country. It's not there anymore. I think I can officially say that the Iowa Speedway has taken over that role.
This racetrack reminds me a lot of that Pikes Peak racetrack.
Side by side, we've seen all night, multiple grooves, drivers able to go everywhere, but right now Weatherman has stretched out his lead a couple of tenths over our second place running Mitchell.
That's a battle for the 4th spot right there. Austin Wayne Self has that 4th spot. Brandon Jones trying to get that Menards Toyota underneath him.
Remember, Austin Wayne Self, our most recent winner, is chasing a championship. Brandon Jones only running selected races, and Self right now has an opportunity to pick up a few points on Enfinger if things end the way they are. Enfinger back in 12th position right now, fighting to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, Josh Williams already in the garage, came in here 2nd points. He's going to finish 22nd, it looks like. Tom Hessert came in here 3rd points. He's running up in the top 10 right now.
Lots of racing left in the ARCA Racing Series throughout the course of the year. Maybe a slightly bit too early to talk about a championship, but each and every race is so important. And with Enfinger making contact to the corner, he is dropping through the running order as we speak.
He's back to the 12th spot right now as we watch this great battle for the 4th spot. Brandon Jones trying to get underneath Austin Wayne Self, not able to. There's Kurziewski, the 54, right behind them.
Brandon Jones a little bit higher line that time. Then he'll try to duck to the inside. Kurziewski right there. Right behind them, we see a good battle between Tom Hessert.
Sideways for Brandon Jones that time.
Man, these guys are driving as hard as they can.
Watch this slide job by Kurziewski. It's not going to work, but he stays even with Brandon Jones on exit.
Elmira heat treating on the side of that 54. It has been a banner year for Matt Kurziewski. Planned on only running Daytona and Talladega. He keeps coming back, and he has been in the top 5 week in and week out, trying to battle to get back in there right now as Brandon Jones is 1 spot ahead of him, running in 5th.
I love the fact that he drives it down in there. He's trying to make something happen. Got a couple spots right there in front of him.
Good battle here. 5 to go here at Iowa.
Weatherman has about a 3/4 of a second lead. There it is right there. The Weatherman in the 22, Mason Mitchell in the 78.
Kyle Weatherman came in 3rd as we got ready to do that pit stop. They had a problem, and he restarted 7th or 8th and drove right back to the front. So we know that Paul Andrews has that number 22 car really dialed in tonight.
Remember, that team's already won 3 times this year with 3 different drivers, one of them being Kyle Weatherman.
Weatherman is 17. He'll have his 18th birthday coming up August 28th. And that will be allow him to change his driving schedule a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of the racetracks that the ARCA Racing Series races on, you have to be 18 years of old to run them. Right now, all he's thinking about is running 3 more laps here at Iowa Speedway.
Good battle here.
There it goes.
Jones is going around. Will that bring out the yellow? He slides down to the inside, and yes.
That's the last thing that Kyle Weatherman wanted to see, but you know, Brandon Jones was trying so hard to get by Austin Wayne Self.
Oh, look at him shaking his head. He says he knows. Again, Brandon Jones not running for points here in the ARCA Racing Series, but had a great battle side by side with Austin Wayne Self.
Just trying so hard there. Got a little bit loose on the underside at exit. Couldn't keep the back end underneath that car.
How about Weatherman? He's going to be coming around for the white flag that time by, and instead he sees the yellow.
There's an on-board view right there. So watch him. It just gets a little bit of tries to get back in the throttle, doing his best to try to clear that 98 of Austin Wayne Self, and around he goes.
148 laps complete here at the Iowa Speedway. Brandon Jones loops it around, and there is Darren Weatherman. That's Kyle's dad, and he can do nothing but shake his head. We'll have another restart coming your way as we're going to go green, white, checker tonight for the ARCA Racing Series 150 from Iowa Speedway. Welcome back to the Iowa Speedway. We promised you some great racing on a Friday night here for the ARCA Racing Series 150. It has been a doozy as we had 2 laps to go. The caution came out, and that killed the lead that Kyle Weatherman had over Mason Mitchell. So they are lining the field up and getting ready to go back to green flag racing. We will have a green, white, checkered to determine our winner tonight here at Iowa. Well, Paul Andrews has been calling the shots for the 22. I'm sure that he's a little bit anxious. Let's check in with Rob.
Yeah, a little bit anxious to say the least, guys. Paul Andrews, green, white, checkered here. What's the plan?
Just run hard. You know, we've been not very good on the bottom. We've been pretty good on the top. Well, obviously we've got the lead there on the top. I think we can do it again. You know, Kyle's done a great job tonight. We're just excited to see what happens here. You know, it's been a long day, and we're hardly wait to get to victory lane.
Thanks and good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys.
Kyle Weatherman, a one-time winner here in this series. He got the victory earlier this year at New Jersey on the road course. Mason Mitchell, a former winner, a one-time winner at Chicagoland Speedway. Both of those guys opened up their resume. And how about Austin Cindric down to the inside? He says, I got to come up with a plan to try to win this thing.
There's Mason Mitchell's mom, hometown boy for Mason Mitchell. We know how important this race is for him. But every one of these guys up here running in the top 10, this race is the most important day of their life.
Matt Krzyzewski will start in 5th position. He's never won in the ARCA Racing Series. To the outside, Austin Wayne Self, our most recent winner at the Winchester Speedway.
I wouldn't count on maybe this being the only attempt at a green-white checker. Right?
All right, ARCA's going to finish this race under green. Here we go. 3 to go as they come out of turn number 4. Looks like the 22 of Weatherman got a really quick jump. We'll keep our eye on that. Mason Mitchell down to the inside. He's being battled with Austin Wayne Self.
What a great jump by Kyle Weatherman. We talked about him not being really, really good on the restarts. Man, he saved the best for last, that's for sure.
White flag this time for Kyle Weatherman. He's got Crosley radios on the side of that number 22. A last-minute sponsorship, but we've got a car going around. Looks like Matt Krzyzewski has spun it over in the corner. And even though the white flag has come out in the ARCA Racing Series, they do it differently than NASCAR. We'll do a green-white checkered once again.
Yeah, this race is not over, even though they received the white flag lap. Received the white flag on the racetrack. See a little bit of damage to that right rear corner of Krzyzewski's car. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened. You see him out there on the outside. Todd Gilliland jumps in the middle. He's going to make a little bit of contact, just enough to get that 54 out of shape.
Gilliland just got a tiny bit loose, but it was enough for Krzyzewski to slap the wall a tiny bit, and that's going to lose a lot of track position for car 54.
Yeah, a lot of really good driving behind him to keep this a one-car incident. James Swanson does a nice job getting by, as well as Polo Mastis.
On board with Brandon Jones here as he looks forward at this group, and you see Gilliland's car sideways. The left rear gets loose there. That's what took Krzyzewski up to the wall.
Weatherman's dad once again.
He said, come on, man.
We need one more restart.
What do we got to do here? What do we got to do?
We need one more restart, just like that last one.
Oh, boy. So Kyle Weatherman trying to do it again, and Mason Mitchell had to learn something on that last restart. I'm sure he's going to give it a little different run in that Carl Chevrolet.
He's got another shot at him here. Tom Hessert doing a great job to get up to the third spot there. Those guys have worked on that car all day long. Chad Bryan, his crew, running third right now. He's a former winner here.
All right, so we are running out of time here. They are going to go green and white together the next time they come around. Coming up next, we've got International Champions Cup, and that was supposed to start right here at the top of the hour, so we'll get you out there right away. Make sure that you tune in next Friday night. We've got ARCA Racing coming at you once again from Lucas Oil Raceway. So Friday night ARCA Racing for you on Fox Sports 1.
We saw Brandon Jones make his way by our leaders as well as the pace car. He's the free pass, so he gets back on the lead lap. That puts us 14 cars on the lead lap. Matt Krzyzewski was able to stay on the lead lap as well.
That International Champions Cup soccer is from CenturyLink Field out in Seattle, so we will get to that just as soon as we wrap up here from Iowa Speedway. We're running just a little bit over as we've got 2 to go. We're ready to go with green, white, checkered. Let's check back in with Rob.
Well, you know, guys, if you look at the top 5 right now, 3 Cunningham Motorsports entries in the top 4. Austin Cindric, Tom Hessert, and your leader, Kyle Weatherman. They've had a lot of success at this racetrack. Between 2009 2012, they won 3 times in a 4-year span. So that team certainly has the mojo, if you will, here at Iowa Speedway.
Well, thank you, Rob. That's no question about it. Kerry Shear probably watching at home, and sending our well wishes out to him as we get reports he's getting much better after having heart surgery. So, Kerry, hold on here. It's going to be an exciting finish as we're going green, white, checkered once again.
Yeah, the green and the white will be together. It's going to be a 1-lap finish here, Ray. Not 2, just 1 for these guys.
Oh, boy. So that makes it even more interesting.
So critical to get a good restart, just like Kyle Weatherman did that last time. But as you mentioned, Mason Mitchell saw what he did that last time. He's got to change it up a little bit.
Mason Mitchell has a personal appearance over at Carl Chevrolet tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. He wants to take a trophy with him. How about Kyle Weatherman going for win number 2 of the season, and Austin Cindric, a rookie, in his first ever start in row number 2. It's going to be green and white together this time. They're coming out of turn number 4. We'll find out who's going to win it at Iowa in about a lap.
Boy, Mason Mitchell staying with him. They're even going in 1.
Side by side as they go down to turn number 1. Mason Mitchell from West Des Moines, Iowa, gets the jump on Kyle Weatherman. It doesn't matter what happens on this lap. It only matters who comes across to get the checkered flag. Weatherman's going to drive it down to the bottom side on his Crosley number 22. Out to the outside, it's the number 78 of Mason Mitchell. His second career win in the ARCA Racing Series comes in Iowa.
The restart was critical. Mitchell got it done.
Drove it down into turn number 1, took the bottom of the racetrack away from Kyle Weatherman, and Mason Mitchell will get his second career win in the ARCA Racing Series. What an amazing deal. He said it will be the biggest thing that's happened in his career, even though he won the championship a year ago.
There's his mom right there. You can tell how happy she is.
What an amazing night of racing for the ARCA Racing Series here at the Iowa Speedway tonight. The folks over at Carl Chevrolet will have a huge celebration.
Let's see if we can talk to Mason Mitchell. Hey, Mason Mitchell, Phil Parsons up in the Fox Sports booth. You said before the race, if you could win here, it was like your Daytona 500. How's it feel, bud?
Feels amazing. Holy cow, we're going to celebrate like no tomorrow. Here we go.
You got an appearance tomorrow at Carl Chevrolet. I know they came on board to make this one happen. You see him climb out of the car. Great job, buddy.
I'd say he's unhooked his radio by now. First win for Danny Johnson, the crew chief, and Mason Mitchell from West Des Moines, Iowa, wins at his home track. The Superman symbol, last year's champion, gets the victory here. What an amazing finish tonight as Kyle Weatherman will finish second. An amazing run for Mason Mitchell. We've got International Champions Cup Club America coming up for you. For Rob Klepper and Jim Trado and Phil Parsons, I'm Ray Dunlap saying thanks for joining us here at Iowa. Now let's send it out to soccer in Seattle. Coming up now, it's Steve Cangelosi.